Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen slash living room. I did a demo in here because I wanted to get as much light as I could. I've got a whole bunch of windows and a sliding glass door back there. All the lights are on behind the camera. So you'll see that this lighting can be effective not only when it's dark, but even during daylight. And I think you'll get a sense of that in this video. So what you're about to look at is option number 1, which is essentially everything that I'm going to bring to any event or wedding that I do. This is going to come standard with just booking me to DJ for you. All right, now these next sets of lights are called Astera Titan tubes, and they are used in Hollywood for special effects in movies. They are extremely effective in creating an eye candy situation. So very attractive to look at, and they can be utilized in multiple different scenes and areas and situations. So for example, right here we have them behind the DJ booth, and we have a nice cascade effect. And imagine doing this behind maybe like a head table, a sweetheart table. We'll utilize these sometimes for grand entrances or grand exits, because you'll see here in a second that they can do things like special effects, really cool lighting. They don't cast a tremendous amount of wash lighting onto a large dance floor. Most of the lighting is going to just be visual. And if you're on the dance floor, you're definitely going to get washed with the lighting in this space. But if we move maybe closer to where the camera is or a little bit further back, we'll start to really kind of lose some of the lighting effect on the people, which is not that big of a deal in a situation or a setting like a wedding. But you know, for a full effect of dance floor lighting, we'll deploy some other lights to really wash the entire area. But for a visual effect, you really cannot beat these. So for instance, we can do like a solid color like this. I could go in and I could change the color to like a purple, right? So we could match whatever your palette is of your wedding. We can do something soft, maybe a little bit more like candle lighting. I can even change the intensity of the lights. So we'll dim them down a little bit, and then later on, we'll make them brighter. And where we're at now, there's a lot of light in this room. We're actually in my living room slash kitchen area. All these windows are open. It's a bright sunny day, no clouds in the sky. I've got the lights on, and you can see how effective these are. And so let's do some other effects. We can do simple things like just, you know, solid color changes like that. Special effects, that's kind of cool. You know, if you have a theme, like if a Disney Frozen wedding, right? That might be good for that. We can create kind of a fire effect. I can also change the colors in these effects. So let's go in here and do like a blue and a red. Oops, that's pink. Let's do this one blue. And so we can just do lots of different cool things that I think will impact the area, the scene, the setting. You can just see how diverse these are, okay? And so now the other thing that I want to do with these is demo what we can do with them during a dance party. So I'm going to take the same song that we use to display the other lighting options that we have, and I'm going to actually basically DJ with the iPad with lighting, if that makes sense. So let's give it a shot. So we'll start with something a little bit more slow and dramatic. In fact, let's go in here and slow it down a little bit. How cool is that? I love these lights. Again, these are called Astera Titan tubes. I don't know that you can get a better lighting effect than this. All right, now I would like to present to you what we call moving heads or intelligent lights. The reason that they are called intelligent is because they can follow directions essentially. So these lights are incredibly effective for dance parties, and to be honest with you, it's what you see when you go to concerts or you go to like the Blazers game, those lights that spin around on the crowd, those spotlights. That's intelligent lighting. And what we can do is we can program it to highlight certain features or certain moments, right? So could be your grand entrance. The doors are over there, so we want the lighting to hit that area and bring everybody's visual attention to that spot. Or the cake is over here. Or we can do both, right? We can highlight the cake, and then for the grand entrance, we highlight that, and then we move back to the cake, or we highlight the first dance. It really just kind of depends on what your vision is. But then when we get into the dance party, these are highly effective in just creating an ambiance and an atmosphere that's immersive. What you'll notice is that this lighting goes all over the area, but not in a manner that feels clumsy or spastic. It feels intelligent, and it also feels exciting. And so what you'll notice also is that on the wall behind the DJ booth, it's going to have smaller effects, obviously, because the wall is closer, but then when it hits out here, the effects cover this entire space. So what I'll do is I'll cut to scenes where the living room is a mess, because as you can see, I've cleaned it out for this, but I want to show you how it completely fills this space. It's really incredible. And then the other thing with what we do with the moving heads is we use these Tron 7 lights, and they're just visual eye candy. They do a little bit of a color wash, and then it has like kind of an octagon shape that does different lighting. Again, just a nice visual appeal, while the moving heads use the entire space for movement. One thing you may notice is that the lighting is starting to get a little bit dim compared to the other videos. The reason is we're starting to get into that twilight hour. Very similar to how we exit dinner, we go into formal dances, we have the cake cutting, and then we go out maybe for some sunset photos. It starts to get a little bit dimmer. However, it is still light, it's summertime, and so that's where we're at right now. We've got a lot of sun outside, the windows are still open, I still have the kitchen light on, but what you want to see is that when we do the spotlight or the features, it's extremely bright because it is a spotlight. So for instance, if we're doing the grand entrance, please welcome your newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Longhorn, right? So then I've programmed the intelligent lights to highlight the horns. So then we turn those off, and when we get into dancing, I'm gonna shut the kitchen lights off. We still have all the sunlight coming in through the windows, but you're gonna see how effective these lights are at the time of the evening when we would be utilizing them for the dance party. Check this out. All right, now let's see what it looks like with the moving head intelligent lights, the Tron 7s, and the Astera lighting tubes. Oh goodness, it's been a long day of lighting and recording, and my microphone died, so you're gonna get a little bit of echo in here because I don't have a lot of stuff. I moved everything out for you to see these special effects. The last one that I want to show you is uplighting. I want to preface that the iPhone is fairly harsh with lighting in all of the videos. So in person, it's not as intense, it's not as glaring as it shows up in an iPhone shot. So one thing you'll notice with these lights is it looks like a pretty harsh spot right above the light. It does not look like that in person. It's a lot more faded or blending, if you will. And this color right here is probably my favorite. It's amber. It's a lot like candle lighting. It's going to take any space and just make it more elegant, make it more warm, more inviting for your guests. Now, one thing that we can do is shift the lighting for the different scene of the evening that we're in. So this lighting would be great for dinner hour, for cocktails. When we start to shift and get up our energy, maybe some drinks are kicking in, some sunset photos, before we're in the actual party set, we'll change the lighting to maybe a fade. So this fade here is going to be pretty fast. I probably wouldn't do this fade until we actually get into maybe early dancing, first 30, 20 minutes of dancing. But imagine a slower fade between the colors. That will just psychologically start to shift the energy in the room. Now, when these really get fun is when we get into the dance set. So I'm gonna play the same song that we played all night for the other videos, and we're gonna see the entire room shift in a color wash. Now, we're just using the uplights, no DJ lighting for this.
What you know about rolling down in the deep?
This is 9 lights. I recommend, we sell them in packs of 10, but I recommend a minimum of 20. Isn't that a cool effect? Now imagine that lighting with the DJ lighting, the Astera lights, the moving heads. It's gonna be the party, the event, the wedding of a lifetime, and we got the DJ skill to bring it all together. You ready to party? Let's go!